a bit chilly here. I'm in Croatia. It is really beautiful here. It's been quite amazing weather. Just got start raining today, but I'm in Croatia today. But I give you some information of what is happening this weekend and next week. So little update that we made. We will find the regular share of knowledge that without being live in Sangha, but on Instagram and YouTube, we will make a small knowledge dose or something about a specific once a week without being live, pre-recorded content on Instagram or on the YouTube. And that Instagram automatically will feed from other social media channels. And once a month, every Saturday, we will continue doing the knowledge about spirituality, meditation, and life related, spiritual life related, and that any hindrance that can become in one person's growth, we will continue doing once a week and every Saturday, pre-recorded content, but small bites, not a massive 45-minute long video. And once a month, every Saturday of month and Saturday in each month. Let's say the last Saturday of each month, we will have some specific topic that will be related to spirituality, some in-depth, one single point topic of conversation. End of each month, on the last Saturday of each month, we will have in-depth program, which will be live via Zoom, will not be broadcasted on YouTube, will be available after some time on YouTube. Just only in-person discussion on June last Saturday of each month, which will be following from the end of November. Our next Sangha will be the following week. Then we'll go to we continue from November onward. October will continue as we have been doing, but for November we will change. So just please make note of it if you come in regularly. And the once a month Sangha will not be live broadcasted on YouTube, but only be available in person or in a live in June. So that is a little update for everyone. And happy Deepavali, everyone. I will not be seeing you on Monday or Tuesday. So, and Govardhan, today was Dhanteras, which is basically a blessing to all from the abundance of wealth. When we talk about wealth, everybody thinks the wealth is related to money. Today is Dhanteras. That is when everybody try to prepare the invitation to the goddess of wealth to their home. Then followed by Deepavali next day in a sequential order. Deepavali is a victory over evilness or darkness of light. So money cannot, remember when you talk about darkness or demonic nature, or when one person talk about a something that is destructive, all those qualities are not external, but may appear outside, but they are one in within. Each person have that demonic nature. Each person have that darkness, unconsciousness. That each person have unawakened body and awakened mind. Not awakened, unawakened. Yeah, remember, sometimes my English may appear, people like to perceive it awakened, but I said unawakened mind, unconscious mind, unconscious body. So when we say Deepavali, we light a lamp. Nowadays, everybody buy the candles or electric lights. But was not the point. It was the point of everybody used to use a Deepam that used to create some small ecosystem within the community. Second, to help the environment, because this is the season when the season is changing, you clean the houses and everything. That is also darkness in one person's. You can be very accumulated. Don't let go things. When you clean the house, you also clean your consciousness. What you call in the Western is a spring clean. But traditionally in Vedic system, in Sanatana Dharma, we do twice a year. We do it springtime just before Holi and autumn time around Diwali. So these are very prominent weather and very important to keeping the premises in which you live clean. That lead sometimes to the mental clearance as well. When you go into the physical things, you find something that triggers inside emotionally. And then you also have to go to the emotional part as well. So that becomes a cleaning. That is something that is lingering inside, the darkness inside, or the unwanted emotion that you can process it, that converted, transform with consciousness, which is the light. You became aware of something and you processed it and you let it go. It becomes a transformation. Then you light up your house, external, physical house you live in, and the society, the community, and internally. Once external will become a reflection of inner light. If you're celebrating Diwali or Deepavali, buying a lots of gifts, lots of sweets, and lots of lights, and decorating, it's essential to do that as well. As I said, it's part of ecosystem because you are sharing your wealth with the people who does not have, who are very small contributor to within the community. There is livelihood of them. But don't just limit your Deepavali or Diwali just to the fireworks or just to the buying gifts, wearing fancy outfits and clothes, but become light enough, lovable enough that everybody fancies your inner consciousness. And you fall in love with your own consciousness, inner transformation, or igniting your inner light. Now, is a different concept. Traditionally, the light will lit at the temple, or the person who's very highly consciously awakened. And from that person, the light will go into each house, and from the one flame, you light many flames. So whole place will be lit up just from small consciousness that reflect within the community. If the one single person in your family has some consciousness, some awakened consciousness, awakened mind, or awakened inner self, the inner light ignited, that you can ignite your inner light with help of that person as well. That does not mean you have a lamp perfectly capable, have a oil, it have a thread, it have a pot, an abundance of it. And one person is fully ignited, living in the light, and you sit next to it with the potential to be a light, but never ignite with connection of that consciousness, the connection of the inner light. Relationship is not there. Eagerness is not there. As long as you don't connect with that light, your deepam, your inner light, your inner consciousness will not be ignited. So we used to call it deepamala, like you lighting a one deepam, one candle from a non-lit candle is connecting with the lit candle to creating the light. And similarly, you can have one lit candle, one not lit candle. Unlit candle will have no light at all. But despite maybe living right next to it. So remember, try to ignite your consciousness. That will be the light. That will be the real Deepavali. Traditionally, that what used to happen. Now, nobody actually is spending so much lighter or the electricity or a matchbox lighting each candle independently. That was never the case. But collective consciousness, not individual consciousness. So you lighting one lamp from other lit lamp, you're making the chain of them, a ripple effect of consciousness, sharing the consciousness, sharing the light. Once the light starts sharing, you start conquering the darkness within you and also around you and affecting the entire society. So Deepavali is celebrated in the return of Rama back to his kingdom after destroying the āsans, the Ravan, who had 10 heads. There is a long story behind it, but Rama is your inner self. This is your Ayodhya, your body. And once your consciousness is returning back to Ayodhya, means your whole body have to lit up because every pore in your body is vibrating. Once that vibration happens, your whole body lifts up with the light. Or every time when you witness during meditation, when your whole body is feeling light and lit up with warmth and awareness, glowing with energy, means Rama have arrived. That day becomes Deepavali. That moment becomes Diwali. And make sure Diwali happens every day for you, not once a year. You should conquer your darkness every day. Always be alert. Always remain your inner light lit up. So any ignorance, any arrogance, any hidden mischievous culprit nature of your mind trying to destroy your consciousness, you always see it. Not try to brush it under the carpet or try to hide away. So there not a single corner, no blind spot left in your awareness. Lift your awareness so much that you can see fully. Your Rama will be celebrating his return in your body every day. So happy Deepavali, everyone, and wishing you many returns of the day and the awakening of the inner consciousness, the igniting your inner light to light inside you and share that light all around you. Welcome your inner child within your body. That is little Ram. That is a very interesting question. Yogis, I always wonder why yogis don't wear black clothes. I do. Look back in a couple of sanghas. I have black shirt, no problem. Remember, there is a different stage of a yogi. One is a sadhak yogi, sadhana yogi, or mahayogi. The point is reminding the mind to remain. Some people wear orange, some wear saffron, some wear burgundy, some wear white. And in fact, and in the utterly ultimate truth, yogis should not wear any clothes at all. All the clothes are wear outside, just in simple truth. People may not like it. Is to create a certain level of persona. If I am sitting here with no clothes, I guarantee you, some of you will not even come to the Sangha or watch, and I will probably ban on you too as well. And the fact is, wearing white clothes make absolutely, white represent purity. And somebody wearing white does not mean they have purity. They maybe have aspiration to reach purity. Similarly, people wearing saffron represent tyag, or you can call it a certain level of awareness, the renunciation, or the dispassion, or courage. Many people have. To renounce something requires courage. And somebody wearing saffron does not mean the person has renounced, but maybe have aspiration to renounce. Sometimes wearing clothes to represent the practice one is doing. If somebody wearing only white clothes, mean they are aspired to reach the purity. That does not mean they have reached the purity. I know I had a beautiful teacher. He did not even wear a yogi clothes. He can wear anything he wanted. And did not even look like. Once I was traveling with him in the train, and I was telling him, calling him Guruji, Guruji. And the people sitting next to me, they're saying, you look like Guruji with the long hair and wear. Why are you calling this guy Guruji? I said, this is the mystery about my teacher, that if you can understand him, will be very different. So wearing white, why yogis wear white? If they have aspiration to reach purity. Why don't they wear black? Because they're fighting with the inner darkness. Once they understand the darkness is the purity, if you can develop a awareness, you can ignite, the darkness disappears. No need to be afraid of darkness. Darkness exists, purity exists. There is, all you can do, you can broaden the parameter of your purity. You can broaden the parameter of your light. In a duality concept, both exist. But when you understand the non-duality, now the darkness or the light, both does not exist at all. Only your awareness, your presence remains. Is people using or say sometime, I am nobody, but you are constantly fighting to prove your ego. But you're now and then, all the time, sentence coming, I am nobody. If you are nobody, why try to fight to prove or survive? It becomes a little bit hypocrite to their own mind. You live in duality, accept duality, don't try to hide behind the non-duality, have aspiration to reach non-duality if you are Vedanta practitioner, non-duality practitioner. If you are a duality practitioner, embrace the duality, don't try to fight with non-duality. Embrace it, remain in bhakti mood, the bhakti bhav, the devotion. That is all lead to the same place where your ego completely becomes submissive to your inner consciousness, your awareness. So I hope that may have answered your question, Maribella. But important part, wearing clothes does not make any difference, in my view. My grandfather used to say, back in the days, I'm talking 40 years, 35 years back, I still remember it. He said, 1 rupee probably back in the days would have been a 10 to 20 pence, or maybe not that much. You can make 10 or 100 monks. All you need to do, you bring the color and dye the clothes. And everybody feel like a monk once they wear the clothes. I know a lot of spiritual people who behaves like completely ego is up in the cloud 9, walking like they are completely transformed, and totally awakened, giving, uh, but still the inner self, nothing changed. Externally, completely changed. I remember somebody have whole house filled with the Ganesha, and Ganesha is removal of all the obstacles, but nothing removed. There's so many obstacles. Sometimes even the Ganesha becomes the obstacle itself. Because you got so many of them, you don't know which Ganesha to go to. Have one Ganesha only. God is only one, not too many of them. Sometimes you can have, I remember one of my friends who had three Buddhas in the garden and Buddhas in the doorstep, corridor, in the house, kitchen, bedroom, everywhere. The whole house filled with the Buddhas. And person have no understanding of Buddha at all. And that having Buddhas creating extra burden that you have to be stressed about it. Because people, when they come, they expect a certain level of Buddhism principle in the house. And you have to make so much extra unnecessary effort. And after that, when the person is gone, you feel so relieved. I don't have to now fake being pretending to be Buddhist principles. It is the real story. I encountered that in Canada. And it is very uncomfortable. So once you start wearing white, I give you a simple example. Look at the Kundalini crowd. Everybody wearing the white, but is the real Kundalini awakened? Not really. They have aspiration to awaken the Kundalini that bring the light inside the person, that will bring the consciousness uplifted. That does not mean they Kundalini awaken. They have aspiration to. So wearing white is very important if it helps one person's mind. Similarly, wearing black may reflect one person's inner awareness. If you look back, there's somebody who have a very dull mind, dull thought, lethargic, having a little depression, watch their clothes. They can't have anything very colorful. They wear very dark clothes, the gray clothes, try to keep it low as possible, as suppressive as one can be. White, similar aspiration. People like their mind is very colorful, the bright, look at the mind, the rainbow people, they wear very colorful clothes. And their life is very colorful. So sometimes color can reflect if you are in a material consciousness. Color may reflect with one person's inner thinking. But when you are on a spiritual path, there are two separate understandings. Yeah? When you have aspiration with a conscious decision to choose your clothes, is different than an unconscious choice of wearing clothes. When you wear a conscious clothing, when you're choosing consciously to wear and choosing to wear white, means you have aspiration to reach to the light. I'm wearing black, the gray color, and have a white on top. I don't really mind. So, because I know deep down, I don't really have clothes. When I sleep, I don't really dream with the clothes. So, there are many topics one can talk about. So, similarly, when people have names and Why does it difference it make? It's again a aspiration to reach that level. So I have a one question somebody asked. Hawaiian, my friend from probably from Hawaii, his name Hawaiian, having to accept the limitation of my body after recent neck injury was a little hard. More like said, I can't do what I used to, but it is not what it is. I cannot change that. I am trying to find it interesting how I can still practice certain asanas with aid of props when possible. And in case of loss of strength shoulders due to the neck issue, I've been potentially cautious retaining my body patiently. So as you can say, I'm transforming while keeping a healthy relationship with my own body. When somebody have a good practice, it can be very setback for that person. I do share sometime contents on Instagram, but some of them may apply to some people, some of them may not apply, but majority of them it will. Thank you for uh, continuing reading and responding to the messages on social media. But if you do have any injury, you have a great practice and you injured yourself, your ego will feel very little. Your mind, despite before injury, you may have felt no ego state. But after injury, when you're trying to come back to the practice, without an injury, take an example that you have been practicing regularly and there's been 6 weeks or 6 months or 1 year that you cannot practice due to any reason, despite there is no injury in your body. Immediately, moment you go on the mat, your mind will go back where you left it and will try to achieve the same thing. Always be precautious. Always be patient with the practice. Use the props. Go back to the basics. Try to enjoy the practice. Now try to go back where you left it. In the meantime, when you continue practicing, you will pick up where you left. You may even go deeper physically as well as in awareness level. You may go deeper than what you have witnessed before. But if you stuck in the past and try to do it, your ego will feel bruised, point one. Your mind will try to overdo it. You have to be very precautious. And you're likely to create a more strain. And when you create strain and injury, you go back again for out of practice. So remain very steady practice, slow, progressive. That will be a lot more wiser. In your situation, having a neck injury and using the props is the best idea, and taking it as easy as possible, comfortable as possible, and precautious as possible. Do not rush into the practice, especially getting into the asana, getting out of the asana. Find a regular meditative practice along with the asana practice will be very helpful. On that note, that will be enough for today. We'll see you next week, our regular Sangha on 29th of October. and after that we will change it to the end of the last Saturday in each month. End of the month, last Saturday of each month, but pre-recorded content for small bite-sized knowledge, the wisdom will be continued shared every Saturday. Okay. And the end of the last Saturday of each month will only be available in person, living in wherever I am, either India or Croatia or UK, or via live Zoom. Thank you. Namaste. Pranam. Thank you, everyone. Lovely to have you.
Thank you, Yogi.
You can share the contents and share the YouTube link and subscribe it, and